I forgot to say earlier because I opened you and Allison snapped me right before our class started, so I had time to watch it, and then I didn't have time to respond, and then I forgot that I was going to. Um,
Mhm.
I responded to Allison saying that you should wear a veil. I thought that was funny. But my other response was going to be that this style of laugh is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was on the
It's
phone
like
with my mom last night, and it took her about 30 seconds before she started laughing, and she didn't stop for a long time.
it's like you don't want to be mean, but it's not like it's a fatal disease. So,
No, I could be having a stroke.
yeah, but instead you just
My
dumb.
my other thought was Halloween just happened a couple weeks ago. Why did this not happen then? And I could have been
Ugh,
Two-Face.
yeah, it could have been way better.
I could There are so many good characters that have half of their face either covered or like in a mask, weird makeup. I could have done a lot,
Hmm.
but no,
You could have done Phantom of the Opera with the half mask.
exactly.
I mean, yeah,
Hmm.
there's lots of options.
I look
It
really
is
good
a
with my
little
hair
bit rude.
slicked back.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's
Oh well.
yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna have to get used to it. This is gonna be my life for at least 2 weeks, maybe
Hmm.
longer, depending on how much God hates me. But I keep wanting to like cover it up, but there's nothing like it's not like it really helps.
Right.
Yeah. I also I brought noodles over for me to eat, but it's really
No.
hard for me to do it. I can't work my lips right.
That sounds like almost the hardest thing to eat. You couldn't even use a straw the other day. You think you can eat noodles?
No, I don't know what I was thinking. I did it just on autopilot, and then before I knew it, I sat down with him and was like, "Oh no, oh no, what do I do?"
I just can't eat this. Um,
Just to catch our audience up on this, you may recall the last recording, I was having a little bit of a hard time moving my face, and someone stopped looking at me.
it's just funny that like half of your face is having the
Really?
time of your life and the other half is like about to cry.
This. It's so bad. It's like it's a very real dividing line right down the center of my face. You can see it when I do that.
Why would you why? As if it's my fault for laughing and you're doing this.
Sorry, I just won't expose my face anymore, I guess. It's bad for me too because I can't stop staring at myself in this little square.
Yeah, well, that's what Zoom is for, looking at myself.
Yeah, but
That's what
usually I
I
like what
use
I
it for.
see.
Mm. Maybe this would be a good time for me to make that sock puppet of you.
That could be really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it's up to you.
You know, this is a concern, but I'm really more worried about how this is going to affect my job. You know, where I sit at the front desk.
And greet people
Yeah.
and say, "Hi, welcome in. What can I do for you?"
Howdy.
Yeah. Do you say howdy, really?
Actually have gotten in the habit of it. It's a fun
Yes.
word
I
to say.
love it when people say howdy.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a really fun word to say with no hint of a southern accent at all. Oh, howdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Maybe I'll just do this. Maybe I'll have no expression.
Yeah. You can say this is a deeply serious topic. No funny business.
No.
So welcome to Women in STEM in
Yeah.
these dark times. That's all, really. I mean, I don't know what else to
There
say.
there is nothing else to say.
Yeah.
Nothing bright
So
in this world.
Goodbye. There's nothing else. We upload a 4-second video. Welcome to Women in STEM in these dark times. There's nothing else to say. I would watch that.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I watch a lot of our content anyway, though, so I guess that doesn't really mean a lot coming from me.
Yeah.
Is it weirder? Let me tell you, let me ask you, is it weirder if you see just this face or just this face laughing? Like that.
Well,
Which side should I turn to?
the one that doesn't move when you laugh is weirder because it seems like it's fake.
Okay. Well, I'll do both. I'll do a mix just to
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
it
yeah.
interesting.
I think you can
Yeah.
do it like kind of every other, and then maybe we let the audience decide. Have a poll.
Nice.
Which way is better?
Yeah, we don't get a lot of audience interaction on the ones where we're not talking Indian movies, so this could be
Mhm.
good.
This
Yeah.
could help us. Yeah, this could be a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking Glass Onion.
We're talking Glass Onion.
Finally, I know people have been asking for a long time.
Yeah.
When are you going to talk about Glass Onion? They say,
Years,
yeah.
years and years. Yeah. I will include just right out the top, my father, famous friend of the channel, Jason, did not like this movie. I didn't talk to him for a couple of months because of that.
Well, that's, I think,
Um,
standard procedure.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
wanted to reassess, like, okay, do I actually want to continue having a relationship with him? Like, do I want him in my life as my father, or is this going to
Right.
be it? And, we were able to work through it, but just know it was, I do like Knives Out better, but this one, I mean, it's a totally different vibe. Knives Out is the fall
Mhm.
movie, Glass Onion is a summer movie. So, like,
It
you can't
is.
compare those two.
It's apples and oranges, baby.
It
What are you
sure
talking
is,
about?
babe. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Hmm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah, I think like Knives Out is probably better, but it's not like
mm-hmm.
Glass Onion is bad because of that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Janelle Monáe's in this movie. Did you think about that, Jason?
Is she ever? Oh my gosh. She actually plays two different people in this movie. How
Mhm.
many people do you know that can say that? Hmm? Hmm? Not enough. And even if there were more, that's Janelle Monáe.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's the end of that sentence. Edward
Yeah.
Norton is in this movie. He could be E
Hmm.
if he wanted.
True.
If I'm going to be honest with you, that's probably all I'm going to be able to contribute with the letters. My brain is elsewhere tonight.
Um, yeah, S can be for stupid because of how the main
Yeah,
bad guy, he's so
he's
stupid, and it's not even
really
so
dumb.
stupid that he's smart. He like just is dumb,
He's
and
just
that's it.
stupid.
He's
Yeah.
never had his own idea ever.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Just purely piggybacking off of others. And
Mhm.
that's beautiful. Well, it's beautiful to see that all come crashing down.
That's beautiful. The M can be from Mona Lisa.
Yeah, she's in this for sure.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mona Lisa is in this movie, Jason. And you're gonna say it's a bad movie? It's ridiculous. It's the Mona
Hmm.
Lisa,
Yeah, yeah.
the most
Uh,
famous woman in the world.
Da Vinci, ever heard of her? Hmm.
And you call
Hmm.
yourself a feminist. Interesting.
Yeah. First of all, this movie is, well, Knives Out and this movie in combination are the reason that I think that Rian Johnson was given such a bad rep for Star Wars Episode 8
Hmm.
because
It
unfortunately it
seems
was not good.
in these movies, it seems like he can direct and he knows what he's doing, and it's like an enjoyable
Yes.
movie. So
Yeah, yeah,
obviously
yeah.
he wasn't the problem. Star Wars was the problem.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I knew a lot of people who refused to go see Knives Out as a result of Episode 8 because they're like, Rian Johnson, he's clearly doesn't know what he's doing. And that was a mistake. That's stupid because he
Mhm.
really does. And like we said in our Knives Out video, he's clearly someone who loves the murder mystery genre so much. Like Knives Out was a wild success. It was really creative. It was fresh, totally new take on murder mystery movies. This movie he didn't just lean on Knives Out's success and think I'm just going to use like a similar formula for this one. It's totally new, entirely fresh structure. It's the fugue style,
Mhm.
you layer it on top of itself and it creates a whole different story. That's
Much like an
lovely.
onion, one could
It's like
say.
an onion. One
I
could.
don't
Yeah. Hey, that's
know.
the name of the movie.
Yeah. That's so smart. I didn't even think about that. When you turn that way, it's so much worse because you just look sad, and it seems like I'm laughing way too hard.
This is about how the conversation with my mom went the other day. We just get in
Ugh.
a spiral.
It's so bad.
Yeah. My mom said
Um,
when hers happened, it happened for 2 weeks.
mm,
But one of the doctors the other day said it can take up to 6 months. Not 6 months. Yeah, 6 months. Yeah.
that's a long
So
time.
really long. Yeah, so I'm really hoping um
It can
I'm
last
having
as
a hard
long as possible. You're going for 7.
to break the record, baby. I'm gonna be like the dog that's still hiccuping.
Yeah. Call Guinness now, because I'm gonna have a world record come June.
Oh my gosh.
That's such a long time. Um,
It's a really long
I
time.
had a classmate who he like missed class one day to go to the health center because he had numbness in his face, and then he came back and he was a little swollen. And I didn't ask him if it was Bell's palsy because he doesn't really know who I am.
Mm.
So I didn't want to like lean over the seats and be like, "Hey Ross, do you have?" And he's like, you know. But so then I was like, it's 2 people I know in the same like month. Except for one
Oh,
of
this
them
was
I actually
recent.
know, and the other one I know him, but I don't think that he knows me.
Okay, so I'm the one you actually know.
Right.
Cool.
Well, it's Whitney, right?
Wendy, we've known
Oh,
each other for years and years.
I know they just sound so similar, and with like the Midwest accent, I'm just not used to it. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
no,
That's my
no,
bad.
it's
No, that's
you know what?
totally my bad.
Okay, I
Wendy,
guess.
Wendy, Wendy, Wendy. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Like the food, the restaurant. The food. The Wendy. As if that's like they have a signature dish called the
The
Wendy.
Wendy. Actually, why don't they?
I don't know. They're dumb, I guess. They have Dave
Well,
Lemonade.
yeah, well, and they have the Baconator, which is slam the name. I'm not critiquing the
Mhm.
Baconator.
It
I
is
think
a
that's
good name.
awesome. Yeah, just like rename something else on the menu. Yeah, you got Dave's Lemonade. Just maybe make it a drink or like some fries,
Mhm.
something. No,
Something.
all
They
right.
have saucy nugs now,
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
but
they
they
do.
don't have a Wendy, and they call
Yet
themselves
another reason.
feminists.
Knives Out. No, Glass Onion.
Yeah.
Nope.
So Glass Onion, this movie has a lot of twists and turns that I like. I thought that the like some of it was a little heavy-handed with like the flashbacks. Not when
Mm-hmm.
he meets the sister, because that's necessary information, but when
Hmm.
he says something about like it's like shooting a gun in the dark, and then
Hmm.
later it happens and he has the realization. I think that would have been enough. They didn't have to flash back to it.
Hmm.
I remembered that he said that, and then he remembered that he said that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
I
you know,
also agree. I do think you know that thing that trash can designers in national parks say like there is a significant overlap between the smartest bear and the stupidest human.
mhm,
I think there's something there with like how much can you leave out when you're movie? How much can you
mhm,
trust your audience? You should be
yeah,
able to do it more. But there's a significant overlap between the smartest CinemaSins viewer and the dumbest humans. So
Yeah. And we're always saying that.
literally, what am I not?
Yeah, so that's a good point. It's like it's not like it took me out of the movie and I was like, this is stupid, but I just was like, it could have been like 4 minutes shorter and trusted the audience a little bit more to remember what just happened.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially because that one is a lot quicker in length. Like when he meets the sister, it's been like a whole movie, like 45
Hmm.
minutes,
Hmm.
a
And it
little
is
bit
like
longer.
you have to know that that's part of the story. That's new information. It's not
Yeah.
a recap. And it's also
Um,
awesome because we get to watch Janelle Monáe more,
yeah,
this time with a
yeah.
Southern accent. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
mhm.
A really good one.
Name
Like
something Janelle Monáe can't do.
I never would. Even if I thought something, I would never say it
Never say it.
willingly.
Mhm.
No.
Because
Janelle
you'd be
Monáe.
proven wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. I kind of doubt that Janelle Monáe could do this. And then it's like, you like open, it's like you would spin into the next day you're opening a newspaper and it's like Janelle Monáe does the thing.
Can she water ski? We don't know. Can she skydive? No, not skydive. What's the thing with the squirrel suits? You know the ones I'm talking about.
Oh,
With
yeah.
the stars. It was a thing on Wii.
Obviously. We all know that.
I also like that she has a very heavy Southern accent. Um, and yet when she's talking to Benoit Blanc, it is utterly, I mean, hers is a Southern accent, and when he talks, it's also a Southern accent. But it's like
Mhm.
the Venn diagrams of their
They
two
don't
Southern
know each
accents are in
other.
different rooms.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't sound anything alike. Like I don't listen to her talk and think, oh, kind of sounds like what he's doing. No, I don't know what he's
No,
doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. I did learn that
no.
he talked to a dialect coach before this movie to help get him back into the swing of Benoit Blanc's voice, which like why
That's so funny because Benoit Blanc has an accent that no other human being has.
ever?
It's
It's
so
really
funny. It's like, yeah, kind of vaguely Southern, but you couldn't pin it to any actual dialect that exists in the Southern United States. You couldn't pick any place you're like, they talk like that. He made it up.
yeah, you made it up. Yeah.
So then it's funny
The,
to go to a dialect coach and be like, remind me what I made up.
the
I
dialect
don't
coach is like
remember it.
sweating profusely, white knuckling. He's feeling like the Grinch, the way he's contemplating certain things. Oh my gosh, I have been meaning to tell you, I did turn that into a shorthand at my office. I told Jen about it months ago, and she lost it. She loved it so much. So every single day she references the Grinch, and she's like, "Right, Winnie? Right? You know the Grinch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know the Grinch." And
He visits me in
eventually,
my dreams.
yeah, he does. I don't want him there, but he keeps coming back. Um,
What can you do?
nothing. I can't do anything but sit and watch. And then show people the picture because Jen brings it up and she's like, Whitney had the funniest dream about the Grinch a couple of weeks ago. You want to show them the picture, show them the picture, and then I have to be like, okay, now I have to show them I drew this and I made it look as sexual as possible because that was the context of the dream. But now
Yeah.
I am gonna have to explain why he
Does
looks like
everyone
that.
at work, do people at work like pick up on the kind of sexual undertones, or is it just funny because he's suicidal? Which isn't
For the
funny.
for the most part, for the most part, it is just because he's suicidal. There was one person who asked, why are his eyes? Why is he? Why does his face look like that?"
Who's to say? That's just what the
He's
Grinch
just a
does.
silly, goofy guy. Yeah, I'm not an artist.
The
Anyway,
things
so
that you
now
almost forget
this.
about,
Oh,
and then they come just crashing back into your life. That's incredible.
I can't forget about it because every now and then Noah comes up from the back, or Talia, even Wyatt on occasion has heard us talking about it. Every now and then they'd be like, kind of feeling like the Grinch today. And we all know it's not they're feeling grumpy. They're contemplating the loaded gun in their front desk drawer. Anyway, so I did that.
I'm so proud of you. You're making waves. Soon it's going to get to the senator, and then the whole United States Senate is going to be using that as a shorthand.
Bernie
And it all
Sanders.
started right here on the Women in STEM podcast.
Wahoo! Yeah, mark your calendars, folks. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, we're going to take this all the way to the White House, baby. And people are going to be like, why do Americans always talk about the Grinch so much? Just because he's grumpy? And all Americans will be like, they
Yeah,
haven't seen Suicidal Grinch.
it'll be the new threshold for immigrants that are allowed into the country.
They just show a picture, like a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot of Suicide Grinch. And they're like, do you know what this means? And if the immigrant can say yes and give a good enough answer, then they let him in. So Indians will have a really good shot because they all watch this channel. So Glass Onion, it's about
It's a
Janelle
movie.
Monáe.
It
It's a
is.
movie, and well, really, it's about like how everybody who's rich is a bad person.
Yeah,
That's kind of the
yeah.
moral of the story. It's like every
And
person that you know, if they're in the public eye in any way, they
mhm,
are doing some sinister things under the table.
yeah,
Um, and nobody can be trusted if they're rich,
no.
which
And we
we're
already
always
knew that.
saying. So like
Literally, yeah.
the movie really resonates. Yeah.
Yeah, along with the first one too. All of the rich assholes. Well, all
Mhm.
the rich people are assholes. I combined that on accident. Just a
Yeah,
little
it's
slip.
like
But we all
yeah.
know. Same with this one,
Mhm.
except for one rich individual who is then murdered for being not an asshole. And
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
too
yep,
bad.
yep. It is. She seemed like a really cool person.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So the way this movie is structured is it basically split up into two halves. Will you explain this? I can't look at myself.
Split up into two halves, you say. This is why it happened now and not on Halloween, is because we were gonna record this.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, it's actually a blessing in disguise. It's actually a tender mercy from God. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, so the first half of the movie is like, oh, there's this like eccentric rich guy, and he's inviting all his friends to a murder mystery party on his private island during COVID. And you're like,
Hmm.
okay, I hate these people.
Yeah,
But I'll
immediately.
keep
They give you
watching,
no sympathy.
it's like they suck. And
Really
you
bad.
almost
Yeah.
like at the beginning, there's like the one woman who's a like politician and she's like working
Mhm.
from home, and you're like, okay, that's kind of funny. But then you're like, oh, she's a politician and she's friends with
Yeah.
this rich guy. Okay,
Yeah. Oh,
never
she talks about being really environmentally friendly and she's friends with that guy. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, so she's
mind.
full of shit. We know
Got
this
it. Got it.
immediately.
Yeah.
Also, with that, the Ryan Johnson's main concern with Knives Out was that we had like 15-minute long introduction at the beginning that kind of went really slowly and was kind of boring, maybe not to us, but to stupid
Hmm.
people.
Yeah.
Um, and so this one, he was like, well, let's just see what they're like in their home environment. And so that's what like it's a really good place to do this where we get to see where they are naturally and then as a group dynamic all together,
Hmm.
which is really fun because in Knives Out they were singular being interviewed in a very formal setting. So it's like the polar opposite of this where we get to see this whole new dynamic. It's fun.
Yeah. And I think it's really effective. And you're like, wow, I hate these people. They're the worst.
So much.
And then
Yeah, my
you want the eccentric friend to be like at least cool, because you're like, ooh, he makes puzzles and stuff. But then it
Mhm.
turns out that he's the most boring man alive. He's just rich
Yeah.
white man. And you're like, oh,
Yeah. Right at the gate, he's like Elon Musk coded very heavily. Like they talk
yeah.
about NFT. I want to say they mentioned Roblox. That could be wrong, but
You don't
it might
remember, but
also be
it's just a
true.
bunch of stuff that you're like,
Hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very like
So
yeah,
he's the worst.
wealthy, enigmatic, rich white guy.
Yeah. Anyway, so you see all the friends like on the phone trying to solve the puzzle, and it's like fun, and they're all stupid, so they can't figure it out. But then they eventually do. And then it also cuts to Janelle Monáe, who has the box. She's looking at it, busted open with a hammer. Yes!
Hammer, yes, yes.
Yeah. She has no time for this.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, and also, like we don't know anything about this person yet,
Yeah, this is
but
we
it's
get the smallest glimpse.
yeah,
Everyone else has the whole, like, you see them interacting with their family or with their incredibly large COVID party, you know,
they're all in
and
her
she's just like
pod,
sitting alone,
smashing it.
breaking shit
Yeah,
open with a hammer. Good for her.
absolutely. Yeah, that is something.
Mhm.
If you have not smashed something open with a hammer, I recommend it. It is so therapeutic, and like I literally cannot recommend it enough. It's like a year of therapy. Get a hammer and just start smashing shit.
Mhm.
That's an official statement from Women in STEM, by the way. You can't be held liable.
Yeah, like if you start hearing reports of like people breaking a lot of stuff are bad. What can we say? It's cathartic. So, do you want these people to suffer or do you want them to break stuff?
Maybe that's the next thing I'll work on is after Suicidal Grinch takes off, I'll start working on there can be no laws against property damage.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
what is property anyway? You can just get really heady about it and like annoy people into just being like, okay, fine.
Yeah, we are all property of Mother Gaia.
Oh yeah, we're always saying that. I mean, well, I think we should. I think there should be a law. You know how we were talking about how every American gets a prison, and then when they turn 18, they get to decide what to use it with. They also get a hammer. They should just also have a hammer. Everyone has their own hammer.
That's true. Yeah.
And you just carry it around, and you're like, "Hey, that's my hammer."
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm And
And it
there's
can be
nothing
like,
that anybody can do about it. You can take it through airport security, no problem. People are like, "What's that
yeah,
on this?" Oh, your hammer. You're free to go.
going through.
Yeah, my
Mhm,
bad.
mhm. Yeah. And maybe if
The world
you
would be
are
a
ever
much
stopped
better place.
by police and they try to
Mhm.
search your backpack in the right.
Maybe they're just looking for your hammer. The dog
Yeah.
flagged you. Maybe the dog flagged you because it was suspicious that you didn't have a hammer.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I just kept it
It's
in
like,
my
what's up with that
backpack.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah,
understand. It's yeah, a little concerning not to see someone or to see someone without their hammer at first glance, but
yeah. Well, and
I would
especially
never.
like working in like a government facility. Like, are you
Yeah,
even
yeah.
an American if you don't have a hammer that you like bring into work, you know?
No, I am. I promise. It was just in my backpack.
hmm
You have to believe me.
A likely story. What would have been really funny is if this happened during when you were arrested. You're just under so much stress that you like lose feeling. They're like, "Can I get you anything?" And you say, "Yeah, can you get me some ibuprofen?" And
No.
they say, "No." "Can I get you anything else?"
Mm-mm.
"Yeah, do you have a water bottle?" "No." "Can I call you
Maybe
an
if you could
ambulance?" And you're like,
smile.
"Maybe that's too much." Like,
Yeah, we've cut off. We're okay. So you can't give me the simplest things, but all the way up to the top. That's a possibility. Cool. Yeah,
hmm
no, I get
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe if I mean, I feel like this is pretty much what I looked like that day. I was not
Yeah.
happy.
And why
Maybe
would
that
you
was why
be?
they didn't get me anything.
Oh,
Maybe I could have been,
if
maybe
you
if I
hadn't
had
been
just
such a
been
bitch about
nicer.
it, they would have just been like,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Maybe if I just smiled more.
yeah. Well, that's what this country and frankly world really need. Young
Yeah,
women should smile more at the police.
that's true. I'm always saying
Mhm.
that.
Anyway,
Him. Mm. Janelle Monáe
anyway, then so Janelle
smashing things
Monáe,
with
she like
hammers.
smashed the box open. That's awesome. Then we
Yeah.
see Benoit Blanc in the bathtub, and his husband slash live-in boyfriend, Hugh
Hugh
Grant,
Grant.
is
Hugh
like, "There's
Grant.
somebody at the door for you," and he's like, "Hmm," and it's the box, and he gets to go to the island and like solve the mystery, and he's like,
Mhm.
"Yay!" And you're like,
I
"This
feel
is
like it's also
weird, but it's
important to
intriguing."
note. I feel like a very, very important thing to note about that scene where he's in the bath is that he is playing Among Us with Dame Judi Dench, Stephen
Yeah,
Sondheim, uh,
Natasha
Natasha,
Lyonne.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And oh, I know him. He does movie reviews. More famously known for basketball, though, I think. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right?
That's so funny. I was like, CinemaSins.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's talking to CinemaSins, famous basketball player turned movie reviewer, CinemaSins. And also Natasha Lyonne and yeah, Dame Judi Dench.
Dame Judi
They're all
Dench.
just
Yeah, uh-huh.
friends. They're on Zoom and they're playing Among Us. And he's in the
Uh-huh.
bathtub.
Yeah, he is. He's wearing a fez.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Hugh Grant is his partner. They live
Hmm.
together. I did see a couple arguments online when it first came out. Like, we literally don't know that they're like boyfriends. He could just be like a housekeeper. I want you to look me in the eye, hypothetical viewer.
Hmm.
What kind of world are you creating? That Daniel Craig playing Benoit Blanc, the most ridiculous Southern gentleman that has ever existed on the screen, cannot be dating Hugh Grant? I don't want to live in that
Ridiculous.
world. Mm-mm.
And I think it's
No.
honestly a little bit rude that people try to box us into that world. Like, oh, if there's ambiguity and you don't really know, assume the cooler thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how many times I have to say it. It's better for Daniel Craig playing Benoit Blanc and Hugh Grant playing whatever the man's name is, who's a baker, to
Okay,
be in
yeah,
gay love
same.
with each other.
Yeah. Hugh Grant is making sourdough bread. He's got flour
Mhm.
all over him. He's wearing a Kiss the Cook apron. I don't even know if it says Kiss the Cook, but that's what my
You just
brain has
kind of
supplied
assume that
me.
it does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my
Because, like,
brain has
why?
supplied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Because
wouldn't it?
exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. You're telling me
Hmm.
that's a housekeeper move?
A
Mm,
house. No.
okay,
That's a house
okay.
husband.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's a special little
That's a
prince.
trophy house husband move, actually.
And is it ever?
Yeah.
It's Hugh Grant. You're gonna limit
Yeah.
him? How dare you?
Yeah.
This face
Insane.
is
These
not
people.
expressive today, but just know I am. How dare you?
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Thank you.
And that's acting. Hmm. You do two
Mhm.
different emotions in one. Incredible.
Yeah, like that one shot of Tom Hiddleston in the first Thor movie. Do you
That's what
remember?
I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Where they're like,
basically the same.
huh,
Mm-hmm.
that's so, those are two different guys. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, another really talented actor that was unfortunately
Yeah.
lost to
Became
the
a Marvel
Marvelverse.
actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
What a
Sebastian
world we could
Stan
have
too.
had.
They both have had
Don't even
recently
talk to me about
movies that
him.
came out that like did really well and people are like, "Whoa, this is like good." I'm like, "You shouldn't be surprised. They were hired initially because they were good, and then you just
Because they were
forget
good.
that they're good over time because the movies that they're in are not good."
Yeah.
Anyway.
At work the other day, we were talking about Cillian Murphy. Someone pulled up a picture of him. Oh, we were talking about newsboy caps. And I was like, I
Hmm.
feel like Cillian Murphy can really pull off a newsboy cap. I can't think of many other people off the top of my head that can pull off a newsboy cap, but Cillian Murphy. And someone else was like, nah, really don't think he should be wearing those. And I was like, why on earth would you be limiting Cillian Murphy and what he can wear? Like, that man
Hmm.
can wear anything he wants, anything and
Yeah.
everything. And then Noah was
His
like,
body, his choice,
his body,
first of
his
all.
choice. I turned to the wrong side. He came real slide, like, he's like, nothing? And I'm like, yes. What part of anything and everything do you not understand? Like, I'm not going to tell the man that he can't be nude. Well, like, what kind of society are we
This is
creating here?
natural
Noah?
human right. Like, why are we like being like, oh no, 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 you can't do this, you can't do that. I thought this was America. I thought this was Hollywood, actually. Ridiculous.
Andy, Janelle Monáe shows up looking very girl boss, badass.
Mhm.
I
She has a
saw
short blonde bob and
I
black and
mean,
white. She's wearing black and white the whole time,
yeah, she is. Yeah, she is.
which is actually very Janelle Monáe, like outside of the movie. They're just kind
Yeah.
of like that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Big sunglasses too.
Mhm.
Really good. Andy shows up. Everyone is clearly surprised to hear her. We learn eventually that Andy was cut off from the company by Ed Norton, whose name is, we don't know. Ed Norton.
Yeah, who cares?
Certainly not
We're
us.
gonna do a lot of calling some characters by the characters and calling some characters by the actors.
Yeah. Yeah. Just depends on
And
if I know
we're
the
not gonna
actor's name.
apologize for that. It's just like, frankly, that's just what we do here. You think I would
Yeah.
that quickly and easily on my laptop that's right here? No.
Mhm. Mhm.
Think
We've
again.
been through enough hardships today.
Mostly one of us. I won't name any.
Miles. Miles.
Oh
Ron.
yeah.
See, that's the thing is we just have to beat around the bush for a little bit until it
Yeah. That's what a podcast is. Beating around the bush and then finally getting to a point.
immediately finding another bush.
Yeah. And
We're in a
I got my
topiary
hammer,
maze.
so why not? Beat around the
We're
bush.
in a topiary maze. Do you remember that? I don't remember if it was would I lie to you? When Lee Mack kept pronouncing topiary like topiary.
Like
And it went
like potpourri.
yeah, like the smelly. And it went unnoticed for a little bit of time, but then David Mitchell brought the whole thing to a screeching halt. He's like, we need to talk about this.
Of course. He's like, listen, somebody has to say something. I'm not going to be silent on this anymore. It was actually really brave of him. It was probably on
David
Wilty if it was
Mitchell.
those two in a group
I'm
setting,
I
that's
think it
usually where they
was,
are.
yeah. Actually, I don't think it was David Mitchell who brought it up. I think that uh Rob mentioned it, like topiary. And then David Mitchell was like, you can't start to teach Lee to talk now. We'll be here all night. That's what it was. Which
Funny.
is, yep.
Yeah.
Arguably fits in better. Miles Teller is in this movie. No, he's not. What's his name?
Miles is the name of a character in this movie,
Yeah.
and he's
And
stupid.
he's so dumb. He's
Yeah,
so dumb.
like
He's so stupid.
he misuses a lot of like big fancy words, and it's
Imbreviate.
actually kind of similar to like potpourri, where it's like people will kind of let it slide, assuming that he knows
Because
what
it
he's talking
sounds,
about, but he just said he misspoke. It
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
almost right.
I actually wrote down a list of all of them because,
No, I
well, all the
like
ones that I caught
imbreviate
anyway.
because it
I do
seems
too.
like
I
it's
actually
like a
think that should be a
pun.
word.
It seems like he like made it up on purpose to be funny, but then all the other times he just genuinely uses a wrong word, and you're like, oh, he's
Hmm.
stupid.
He just dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Imbreviate, reclamation, predefinite, infraction point, Ionian Sea, and then there were more, but that was the point that I stopped keeping track because I got caught
Mm,
up in the movie.
in the movie.
In the
And
movie.
that's a
Yeah,
good sign of a good movie.
it sure is. Yeah. All of their friends are very clearly different people. We've got one, um, like Andrew Tate, Joe Rogan type beat, played by Dave Bautista,
Hmm.
who kills the role, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Like
incredible.
alarmingly good. Yeah.
You're a little
And
bit
his
worried that he actually is an alpha male influencer.
yeah, and
For
you're
real.
like,
You're like,
no,
Dave
Dave,
Bautista, no.
no,
But
don't
then
do
it's like, it's
this.
okay. The credits roll, and you're like, oh,
He's an actor. He's just playing pretend. It's
he's
okay.
just.
Yeah. And his
How
girlfriend,
does he
whose
know what
name
to
is
say?
Whiskey.
Her name is
Someone
Whiskey.
has given me lines. They tell me where to stand.
Yeah. Her name is Whiskey, which is the name of my cousin's dog.
Aw,
She's a 10-year-old pit, and she's very sweet.
B. That sounds really cute. Whiskey is also really
Yeah.
sweet in this movie.
Yeah, she's
You
nice.
like she's like a genuinely kind person. She's the only one who like talks to Andy and tries to connect with her.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, but we'll get there. You think
Yeah.
at first she's just gonna be arm candy, but no, Ryan Johnson has integrity.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, you guys remember how women are people, right? And so she has like political aspirations, and she's frustrated that Dave Batista does just treat her like arm
Like
candy.
arm candy. Yeah.
And like
She's
as
just
a
there for the views, and she's like, I guess the the channel is becoming more successful, but as it becomes more successful, I'm limiting what I can do in my future career. She's worried about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's
She read
nice
through
to
the
other women.
Yes, she is.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Women supporting women in this house. We love to
Finally.
see it. Yeah. Dave Batista uses her as like a pawn. He tries to get her to talk to Miles, to Braun, and it's like, again, she is a person,
Hmm.
not just a piece of meat for you to pass around to your boys. And that's all that I have to say about that is I really like whiskey.
Yeah, she's cool. So Whiskey is nice to people. Andy is a little standoffish, but then you're like, that makes sense because she was cut out of the company by this guy who's an idiot.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. And then it kind of slowly reveal more and more that there was like a trial between Miles and Andy, and all of the friends spoke against her, even though they weren't necessarily telling the truth. Oh no. And
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, maybe Miles is actually not really friends with these people. He's just blackmailing them because they are very public facing and he has information that could destroy them.
Hmm.
And he'll choose not to until it's convenient for his own image, right?
Hmm.
So there's like kind of that kind of intrigue involved, which keeps the
Yeah.
movie interesting because every
Only a
single
little.
character is immoral, but like in a different way, except Benoit Blanc, obviously.
Obviously, he has no flaw.
Mhm.
Except, well, he has one, which is that he doesn't like Clue. And he's like, I don't like things that are stupid. And like that's a really fun game.
Yeah.
Like, don't, why are you doing that? Benny, you can't hate on Clue just because you're bad at it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, I
My
think it's
best
just
friend,
his
Mr.
one
Green,
weakness.
lives there.
Hmm. Miss Scarlet. Give it up for
Peacock, are
Miss
you kidding?
Scarlet, please.
Everybody, let's go.
Mhm.
Let's hear
Thunder
it for Tim
Squad.
Curry, who is not in the game, but he is in the movie. And how dare you, Benoit Blanc? Don't think you're above this.
So we
Um,
mentioned this in the Knives Out video, but it is awesome to watch a movie in which there's an actual like celebrity sleuth.
yeah,
That doesn't
yeah.
really happen in the world, you know? Like
Not.
all the famous detectives that we have are from like books.
Mhm.
He's like, no, no, no. I'm gonna do it in real life. I'm gonna be friends with like the people that are on his Among Us Zoom. They're playing themselves. Like it's in
Yeah,
his universe. He
yeah.
is he's a celebrity investigator. Awesome.
That's sick. That's so cool.
And it's kind of too bad that they gave Hugh Laurie, that would be crazy. Hugh Grant a character name because it would be awesome to just imply that Hugh Grant in real life is gay lovers with a celebrity detective.
Oh my gosh, that would have been beautiful. Well, I
Like
guess
I
no
get
film is
it, I
perfect.
guess, but come on.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what makes this movie less good than Knives Out. It's mostly that.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
bit the like flashback editing, but mainly it's Hugh Grant could have just been himself.
Oh boy, okay. So Kate Hudson is in this movie also. Plays a
Yeah.
character named Birdie. And much like Toni
Oh, Toni
Collette,
Collette.
I love Kate Hudson also. She plays someone who, with her own words, understands every third word only. And I love her. I love her so much.
Yeah.
She is such a horrible person in universe,
Yeah. Great
but what a
character.
fun character.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Her main thing that Miles is blackmailing her over is um her sweatpants are made in a sweatshop, which she signed off on.
She signed off on her assistant like discovers the email and confronts her and is like you were notified that these are built in like a huge sweatshop
Yeah.
in like Southeast Asia, right? She's like, that's a bad thing. She finds the email and she says, "You replied, sounds great." And then a picture of your Memoji
Memoji daddy.
sabbing. And Birdie's like, yeah. And she's like, you cannot tell me that you think sweatpants are made in a sweatshop. And that's what the word means. And Birdie's like, the image of like imagine she's like sued for this, right? She's on trial and they're like, Exhibit A. And it's her emoji dabbing under an email that says, "Sounds great."
I wish we had celebrity drama
He's
that good.
awesome.
That's so funny.
He's
So
so
funny.
funny.
I also really like that Miles clearly does not care about Peg at all. Tony Collette's assistant, not Tony Collette. I just talked about her. Kate Hudson. Kate
Right.
Hudson's assistant, Peg. Um, he does not know her name. She has to reintroduce herself, even though she has been on at least five, I think, of these retreats with Birdie.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at her when he hands her a red solo cup for her to make her own drink, which she later writes on with a Sharpie her own name because like everyone else got their own glass and their own drink. He just doesn't care
Yeah.
about her. He can't blackmail her. She's got no influence. He doesn't care about Peg.
Yeah.
So
Even
he's stupid and
though
also mean.
he's mean, yeah. And like he can't blackmail her directly because, she's not involved in this and she's like an assistant and she's not in the public eye.
No,
But
and seems
if
smart.
Birdie goes down, that's been her entire career is doing PR and cleaning up Birdie's messes.
Yeah.
So she's like, I would have nothing to show for my life. I would
Hmm.
never be able to get another job because every job that I have is with Birdie. So you
Which
feel bad for
sucks.
Peg.
Yeah, you really do. When I first watched it, I remember thinking, well, why doesn't she just find another job? And now, as someone who is in a situation not
Yeah. Aren't we all
dissimilar,
in situations, man?
aren't we all? Always,
Yeah.
always new situations are happening. Anyway, a lot of sympathy for Peg. Um,
Yeah.
we hit the halfway point of the movie. We learn that Andy has been Helen this whole time. Surprise! Andy had a twin. Oh, Cassandra and Helen. What do those two names have in common? Oh, oh, oh. Greek
Greek.
mythology, baby. Yeah. Helen
Yeah.
of Troy.
Hmm.
Famously, Cassandra. No one listened to her. No one believed her.
Hmm. Hmm. Until it was too late. Interesting.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Fascinating. Andy has been murdered. Benoit Blanc is hired by Andy to figure out who done it. That's like the genre of the movie.
Yeah, get it? It's
It's
like a
funny,
murder
right?
mystery in real life.
This is this is actually really awesome because me blinking normally is just it looks like a wink. So
Yeah.
I
So
know.
you're just like you're
You
sending
wish you were
secret clues
me.
to the audience the whole time.
Blinking in Morse code. Every time you see this eye actually blink. That's an extra special sign.
It's trouble. Uh, yeah, Helen's awesome. I love that like there's a brief moment before the reveal where you hear Blanc say Helen, and but you're not because the reveal hasn't
Baby.
happened yet. You're like, well, he wouldn't forget somebody's name. Maybe that's just an expression that he uses that no other Southern man has ever used. Like he says Helen,
Yeah,
and that's
which
like
is
the best explanation that you can come up with because he's not forgetting somebody's name.
mm-mm. No, but he does say things often.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
like my favorite shit balls. He
yeah.
invented that.
Not a lot of people know that, but it's true.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. Oh yeah, the end of the reveal or beginning pre-reveal, Andy is shot dead. Benoit
Mhm.
Blanc is devastated, crying. He brings them all back into the central room and is like, "I'm gonna do my thing." And it's like, "Yay! Oh goody, oh boy!" But then we have to start from
Yeah.
the beginning again.
And then you have
Whole
to start from the
new
beginning again.
movie. Yay! Wait, but
Yay!
don't actually start the movie over. Let the movie keep playing. It'll
Oh,
go back
right.
for you. You don't have to start.
Because
I know
if
a lot
you
of
start
people.
over, you'll actually watch the same movie again. But the
Yeah,
point of
yeah,
it is that it's like a twist. So it's
yeah,
as if you're watching a new movie from the beginning, but really it's the same movie, but from a different perspective from the beginning. So
yeah,
it's not
exactly.
confusing. It's okay. And it's awesome because we see Andy wasn't the one
Oh.
who just bust open the box with a hammer. Ellen did that because she
Helen,
was at her
yeah.
sister's house trying to like recover some of her things after her sad and
Hmm.
also suspicious passing. Intrigue. She breaks open the box, she sees the
Hmm.
invitation, she's like, I know who to contact. She finds Benoit Blanc's address and is like, well, guess I'll go to his house.
Hi. Where Hugh Grant is
Hi.
there waiting. And she's not
Hugh
even a
Grant
little
is
bit
there.
starstruck.
Right.
Because again,
Well,
he's a
because he's
different character, but
playing somebody
also
else
you're telling me that you
still.
wouldn't see Hugh Grant character ever and be like, um, hello?
Yeah.
No, she's all business. She's like, where's Benny? Let me in. And he's like, okay,
Yep.
fair enough. Go on.
They
He's got
see
sour MMA
they lock
anyway.
eyes, legend to legend, and he's like, "All right, come on into my home. Would you like some sour bread?" Like, he's got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Helen does a perfect impersonation of Andy, and so no one suspects a thing. They just
Mhm.
think
Which
that's
is
Andy.
because when they were children, they would play a little character called the rich bitch.
Yeah,
So Andy's voice is just that voice. That's so funny.
that's really good.
She's
That's
like,
really
you
good.
became the very thing you swore to destroy. Awesome.
Yeah, and she did, but unlike Anakin, she made the right choice until she ran into another rich asshole, rich bitch,
Yeah,
Miles.
typical.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the point of this venture is to find out which of the group killed Andy, which is awesome because I love the idea of you killing somebody and then their ghost showing up to haunt you. Like, so
Mhm.
Shakespearean.
And you
That's
can't
awesome.
tell anybody because then that's a
No.
confession, right? So you just have to be like,
Yeah.
hey, I haven't seen you in a while.
hmm And no
Uh,
one knows about Andy's death because it hasn't broken to the press yet. They've kept it
mhm.
quiet. So, for all intents and purposes, this is Andy.
Except for the one person who knows that she's dead.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because Andy had a very serious falling out with every single person on account of them perjuring themselves to hold on to Miles
Mhm.
Braun's golden titties, they are all equally shocked and kind of horrified and ashamed to see her. Their initial
Because they all
reactions don't really
know
tell them
that they've
much.
done her wrong. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you can't look at them and
yeah.
be like, oh, it's obviously that one, because they're all surprised and they're all feeling guilty on some
hmm
level. This is Shakespearean and also Greek.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
And also Daniel Craig is in it. So it's like everything good always.
Yeah. Just like that movie with the googly eyes.
Yeah, about 3 out of 5 for me.
It's okay.
I thought the googly eyes was a little bit silly, and you know me, I take film very seriously.
Yeah, there's no place for silliness on this channel or in my life.
I love the like celebrity cameos within movie two. Like we've got Jeremy Renner of Jeremy Renner app fame, uh,
Hmm.
has a hot sauce in this movie.
Yeah, of
Jared Leto has a hard kombucha,
course.
which that's
Yeah.
just about the very last drink that I would ever want in my body ever
Yeah.
under any
No, no.
circumstances. Anything that Jared Leto had touched. But like how fun it just makes the movie feel very grounded and real and
Hmm.
very
Because you're
accurate
like,
with the
yeah,
idea that Miles Braun only surrounds himself with the success of others.
right. And celebrities are always making dumb products that nobody wants.
They
So
really are.
that makes sense. Like I feel
Yeah.
connected to that world.
Oh, Miles Braun also has a Rothko hanging in his house upside down.
Just
I
subtly, that's they're subtly hinting that this guy's stupid. Jordan Peele actually
yeah.
directed this.
Oh, I forgot. Dave Bautista also dies.
Oh yeah.
That
Hmm.
happened before. Yeah. Yeah.
That
But because
happens
he is Joe
before the
Rogan, Andrew
reveal.
Tate type. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
it's
like a it's
crazy
like a
because
thing, but
he like there's plenty of foreshadowing. And again, I don't think they had to flash back. I think they could just do the foreshadowing and you could get it. But anyway, basically
Mhm.
he's like super allergic to pineapple. If he drinks more than like one drop, he will have to go to the hospital or he will die. And that's just something that
It's
you know
also
about.
important to note,
They mention it in passing it. He's like, I can't do pineapple, super allergic. And they're like, okay, got it.
yeah,
Do
does
they
he
mention
carry
that?
an EpiPen on him? No. He does,
No,
however, carry a
he carries a
loaded
gun.
gun. Yeah.
Yes,
Because you never
because
know when shit's about to go down.
exactly. I mean, it's like those like preppers, who like don't know how to can food, but they do have weapons. And you're like,
Yes.
okay, it's very similar to that. Like in a life-threatening
Mhm.
situation, you have severe allergies. Like you should have an EpiPen. He's like, what's actually more important
Yeah.
than that? I keep a
Yeah.
loaded gun on me in my Speedo in the swimming pool.
I wanted him to shoot his dick off so bad.
It would be so funny.
That would be really good. Sometimes Chekhov cocks a gun, but the gun doesn't check off a cock.
I think we can end the
Oh,
video now. That's the best it's gonna be.
thank you all. Goodbye.
Anyway, so he dies, and everyone's like, "Oh no, what? Who could have possibly
Mhm.
done this?" And they're like throwing blame at each other, and then the power
Yeah.
goes out, and somebody steals a gun, which is funny because earlier Benoit Blanc is like inviting people like who have it out for you to a secluded island with a murder mystery theme is just putting it into people's heads that they could kill you. It's like leaving a loaded gun on the table and turning the lights off is what you're doing because you're stupid. He says that to him.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
later, somebody dies and the lights go off, and then a gun is stolen, and it's like, whoa, it's just like the thing that he said earlier.
And he's like,
Miles Brown is stupid. He's literally never
yeah,
had an idea.
never had an original thought, even once, even one time.
Oh,
Every
no.
you're only murdered with any panache, and you stole the idea from me. I love you,
Yeah.
Benoit Blanc.
Yeah.
I
The
love
worst
like
crime of
you can
all is his
see,
lack of creativity.
yes, yeah, he's so disappointed. Benoit Blanc just wants a challenge, and the whole time he's like offended on account of the loss of human life, but also you couldn't have done anything interesting, anything
Mhm.
remotely interesting with it. No, you had to steal all your ideas, and for that, I'm gonna kill you. And he should have, but he didn't.
Yeah. But he didn't because he's like a good guy.
He has
Oh
morals. Yeah.
no.
Yeah. And
Yeah, he
he
has
values human
morals.
life. Yeah.
He does, yeah,
Um,
and that's like important.
hmm Also, I will say um I famously love a pathetic man. I have said this on the channel, I've gone on record as saying this. Um, Miles Braun, when he is pretending to be scared of thinking that someone else is murdering him, is so pathetic and it's so gross. It's so gross.
Mhm.
And I think that the difference is because this movie is so grounded in reality and because he is so Elon Musk coded, the thought of someone trying actively to kill a character like that
Mhm.
and the character being super gross about it and like snivelly and begging and scared, it's like, holy shit, grow a spine. That's
Mhm.
disgusting. It's so gross. I love a good pathetic man in fiction. Unfortunately, this movie is too close to reality for me to really enjoy Pathetic
Yeah.
Man, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
yet another
Because he,
sin
yeah,
of Miles Braun.
he's pathetic in the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just genuinely stupid and bad in real life.
I'm like, ugh. I also think it's really good because we know the whole time that Benoit Blanc has, well, we don't know the whole time. We know now that he has a scheme. And it's really fun to rewatch because almost every interaction he has with Miles Braun is like he is trying to be as mean to him as possible as he can possibly sneak in there. He's like, I got a box with a lot of really stupid children's puzzles in it, and it was really baby, baby, baby,
Hi,
baby.
baby. You don't have to cry. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he ridicules his children's puzzles. He solves his murder mystery immediately on
Yeah. He's
purpose.
like, it was super simple. It wasn't even like that hard. It was like just a little bite size. It was like a little appetizer.
Yeah. Do you have another
Yeah.
one, or was oh, that was it? My bad. I thought this was like practice. Yeah, and you're like, kill
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at first it's like, are you being like you're being kind of a little too nice to him, Benny? Like, you don't actually admire this guy, do you? And it's like, no, he doesn't. No,
Of course.
no, just to be
It's
clear.
just that he's a gentleman. So he
Yeah.
can't be
But he's
overtly
not
rude
above
right off the bat.
being a little bit of a bitch. Just
Mhm.
a little.
Mhm.
He is, as we all
Good
know,
for
a gay
him.
Southern gentleman.
And his
He is
partner's
being very
British.
much, oh, bless your
So
heart. So obviously it was Miles. He did it for
yeah,
sure.
obviously,
Yeah,
because like he's the worst, and he's the
he
one who
is.
like is somehow pulling the strings in everybody's lives, even though they could so easily cut ties with him, and he wouldn't know what to do about it because he's stupid.
He is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's just very wealthy, and this is the only thing that he has going for him.
Hmm.
That and he has the Mona Lisa displayed in his house, which is
Yes, because he
powered
said,
by, go ahead.
which is powered by hydrogen. That's funny and smart. What
Yeah.
could go
Yeah.
wrong there? Yeah, he's like, it's a pandemic. The Louvre needed cast, so I just have it on loan.
That was the one that I didn't write down. He pronounces it the Louvre.
He does. Oh my gosh, he's
Yeah, he
so
does.
stupid.
He's so dumb. So dumb. He's so dumb. Yeah. Lorde has a song called The Louvre. And that's how she says it in the song, is the Louvre.
Yeah,
So you can tell this jackass doesn't listen to Lorde.
yeah. So he's obviously wrong.
Yeah,
The
so he just
Louvre.
has the Mona Lisa
Mhm.
out because he's been obsessed with her ever since he was a little kid. He wants to be remembered in the same breath as Mona Lisa forever and ever and ever.
Which is a weird goal to have, by the way. Also, no offense to
And
him as like a 6-year-old or whatever, but it's a very basic painting to be your favorite. Like it is the most famous work of art in the world.
yeah,
It's like, do you have taste or do you like it because it's famous and you don't necessarily
yes.
notice all the intricacies of the painting without somebody having to tell you about them?
Hmm. Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Upside down Rothko. Hmm,
Hmm,
interesting.
hmm, hmm. Um, Also, I mean, obviously this goes without saying. I'm gonna say it anyway, though. The arrogance, the breathtaking arrogance to think that you could ever achieve that level of greatness and
Yeah,
immortality. You're
insane.
placing yourself on the same level as the Mona Lisa from the movie
Which
Ever
again
After.
is the most famous painting in the world.
Ever.
Like I
Wow.
can understand like
Wow.
having high goals and being like, I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? But to
Uh-huh.
mean it literally is a bit much.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
again, he's stupid. He
he's
doesn't know
very
how to set
stupid.
realistic goals. Yeah.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's never done SMART goals. He can figure it out.
Jeremy Renner of Jeremy Renner app fame, hot
He
sauce.
has a hot sauce in this one.
He has a
Yeah,
hot sauce,
yeah.
secret breakout role for the hot sauce. It is the star and the secret hero of this movie, in that it helps Janome fake Helen's death because she
Which
gets
is
shot.
awesome because she, at that point, it's Helen posing as Andy to everyone except the person who knows that Andy is dead.
Yeah.
Then she gets shot. So now everyone thinks Andy is dead, except the person who already thought that Andy was dead, who's like,
Yeah,
Andy's
yeah.
ghost is dead. Stupid.
Yes, I absolutely 100% believe that he never knew that Andy had a twin.
Oh
Because A,
no.
he's stupid
Even
and
if
he wouldn't think of that.
she
And he
she
didn't,
probably told him and he
yeah, but
just
he
was
doesn't
like,
listen
that
to other
isn't
people.
useful to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
So
she
I
had
truly
said, I have a twin sister who like is this inventor or is this celebrity or whatever, then he would know. But she has a
mhm,
sister who's an elementary school teacher.
he teaches third
So
grade.
he
Which,
does not care.
and by the way,
Even
she is
though,
the most heroic person in this film. She was a
yeah,
third grade teacher during COVID, okay? Give her a purple heart.
yeah. And
Yeah.
$1 million an hour.
Yeah.
That's
Also, I
crazy.
love that she lives because the bullet um went through her sister's journals, and the bullet was
Look in
stopped
her
by
pocket.
the last remnant of Andy. And that's fine. And that actually
That's
didn't even make
nice.
me cry the first time
It's
I
like you
watched
don't
it.
even have to think about it. It's not like symbolic or anything. It's just like, when you have paper, it stops bullet. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think any more about it. So yeah, the
No.
bullet like hits her and she falls, obviously, because she got shot. But she doesn't die
Hmm.
because the bullet didn't go through. And so, but the shooter presumably has already run. And so they're
Hmm.
going off of the fact that the shooter has probably fled the scene. Blanc is like, fake your death, dude. And Helen's like, bet. They pour hot sauce on her that looks like blood. And she
It's
like
awesome.
lays out on the stairs like as if she's dead, and everyone runs out and is like, "Oh my gosh, she's dead!" And Blanca's like, "Yep, nothing else we can do. Let's all go
Wipes
inside
away
and
a
leave her
tear.
here."
This is something that I
He's
truly,
wiping
it's not
away
a
a
flaw.
tear.
Yeah, because he put a dab of hot sauce in the corner of each eye. And like genuinely, why did he do that? Like I know he's like, I gotta be emotional about it, but that will leave you burning for
Forever.
15 days.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself? I
He's like,
don't
I'm
believe
just
the rest of the
really,
movie
he's in
because
deep mourning for this woman that he just met. He has to cry about it for 2 weeks straight.
yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
the movie doesn't end. I mean, the movie goes on for 2 more weeks before we see the conclusion because he does have to flush that out of his system. Whoever killed Andy stole the letter from her house that had the glass onion napkin in it, where she
Mhm.
sketched out the original idea for Alpha, the company that Miles then cut her out of. And because he is,
It's like
as we have
evidence.
established, stupid. And one of their
He's so dumb.
Leslie Odom Jr. is in this movie. He's in this movie and he's great. Um
Yeah.
he's like, why wouldn't you burn it?
Yeah, like
Because
obviously, if you had
that's
evidence that proved that you had stolen the life's work of somebody else and you like had it, would you hide it sneakily in your little office right behind the replica that you made? Or would you like destroy the evidence? What's wrong with you? He's so stupid. Yeah, so then Leslie Odom Jr.
so
is
dumb.
like, why didn't you burn it? And he's like, I didn't even
Huh?
think of that.
I didn't even register
Stupid.
that he stole that too.
He
He
stole
stole
that
that too.
idea.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, he never had
Name
one
one
original
original idea
thought.
he has in this movie. He
He
doesn't.
literally
He
can't.
takes
He can
Benoit
design
Blanc's
the puzzle
idea. He takes
boxes.
Leslie Odom Jr.'s idea.
The murder mystery wasn't him. He hired someone else to write the
He
weekend for
hired
him. He's
Gillian
had
Flynn.
nothing. Unbelievable. The other thing, this is my main flaw with this movie, and I go back and forth on it because I don't know. So we have established that Miles has 10 million fax machines set everywhere in the world. So he sends
Yeah,
a machine to one
which is
and they go to
awesome.
all of them, which is
That's
honestly
actually
badass.
the
That's
one
one thing that
thing
he's like
that he did right. Yeah. Like,
like
yeah,
it
you
is just
shouldn't
that
be
one thing.
using your smartphone all the time. You should be using a fax.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
and that was
did eat that.
correct. He has one in his office where we saw it earlier when he was talking to Benoit Blanc. And for the life of me, I'm so angry that they didn't have Helen fax the napkin before she brought it down for evidence. I know, like, I get it. I know
Yeah.
that the big moment is her burning everything down. I get it. I know. But also,
Yeah.
like, that could she could have turned his friends against him anyway, and also had
And also
concrete
had
evidence.
evidence. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't know what like
She's a third grade teacher. This isn't her main job. It's the first time she's ever
yeah.
gone to like a billionaire's private island home and burned it down. Like, we all make mistakes.
Yeah, next time it'll be much smoother.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she does this is the my favorite thing about the movie too is because I love a woman going ape shit. I hope to do it myself one day.
Mhm.
She just starts smashing everything, starts going crazy, like ruining his whole shitty modern art.
And he's just standing there pretending not to care.
Yeah, because
Like,
he's too cool.
go ahead, keep going.
Let it out. And then
Yeah.
everyone else is like, yeah, actually, let's get into this. And they smash a few things, which is just like what Miles' rudimentary description of disruption theory was earlier, which is like you start disrupting a few things and people are like, oh hell yeah, I like this. But then you can't disrupt too much because no one wants you to ruin the system itself. But that's exactly what Helen is doing here. She's
Yeah.
smashing things, and then everyone else is like, yeah, good, got that on my system. Whoa, Helen, now you're being a bit much. And they try to stop her because she's like
Mhm.
lighting things on fire now. And that's sick as hell. Yes, absolutely. And then she throws tiny little crystal of hydrogen in it and it goes,
Yeah.
ooh,
Because he keeps that in his house. He
he
keeps that on his
does.
person. He shows people about it. He's like bragging about it because
Because
he
again,
is stupid.
so dumb
I don't
in
know if
the
we can
brain.
say this enough.
We really can't. It cannot be
He's so
overemphasized.
dumb.
He
And
is
Leslie Odom Jr.
power.
and
He's
Catherine
stupid with
Hahn,
two O's. Catherine Hahn
He
is in
is
this movie.
stupid with Toos. Catherine Hahn is in this movie, and Leslie Odom
Yeah.
Jr. is also in this movie, and they both know the dangers of the hydrogen-powered house because they're not quite so stupid. But they can't say anything because it would like ruin her political career because she's supposed to be this like environmental activist, whatever, but she signed on this project even though she knew it wasn't ready and whatever.
Hmm.
So they both know, but they don't say anything
Hmm.
because they're a little bit stupid.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah, they
ton,
are.
not with two O's, but.
Anyway, the whole thing burns down and it's lovely. And then he's pissed. But then Helen, light bulb, new idea. Let's burn the Mona Lisa.
hmm It's the
Yeah.
only thing left standing because it's in that like safe case because of how it's the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
So you have
And
to like
because
keep
he
it secure,
is
you know?
stupid,
He's so
stupid,
stupid that he just
he
like
has an
has a
override key.
just sitting there, by the way. He has an override key just there, and you can just. Boop. It's just she's like, "I'm gonna beat you there, you son of a bitch," and they're like running in slow motion, and you're like, "But kill
Yeah, yeah.
him!" So he gets his wish,
Uh,
because now he's gonna be forever remembered in the same breath as the Mona Lisa.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
And it's beautiful, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And he ends the movie crying. And tell me that's not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.
Because he finally shows some actual emotion
Yeah.
instead of just being this like, impassable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't be touched. He can't be insecure about anything, and then everything falls apart and he cries and you're like, hmm,
It's lovely. It's so beautiful to see. I
yeah.
wish rich people got their comeuppance in real life. I wish this
Yeah,
was real.
Glass Onion is yeah.
Consequences were real.
Glass Onion's such a good movie. I wish consequences were real in real life.
Oh,
Um,
Trooper Wagner is in this movie. He's
yeah.
what's his name? Darren? He's going through some things. He's not part of it. And you think, is he part of it? No, he's not. He genuinely is not. He is just there.
He's just on the island. And you see, yeah, the whole time you're like, this is one of those things where they introduce a character and they're like, don't worry about him. And you're supposed to worry about it. But no, he's just hanging out. Like there's several moments. Like there's one where like Helen is going around the house like she's searching for evidence, and she like bursts into this room and he's just sitting there chilling and he's like, "Oh, hey,
Want to hang out?
want to hang out?" And she's like,
She's already
"Can't." Runs
gone.
away and he's like, "Aw."
Yeah.
He's just there because he's going through some stuff.
I like to think that he is Trooper Wagner's secret twin.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. I think I said this when we were doing Knives Out, but I do believe that Benoit Blanc put Helen and
Yeah, you were
Marta.
saying a group chat with Marta and Helen.
Yeah, like he just
Yeah.
collects young women that he helps, not in a creepy way, just in a I made new friends. Look, Hugh Grant, my husband Hugh Grant. Look at my two new friends that I made. And they are just besties.
Yeah,
I believe that.
they just hang out. They're
Yeah.
it's like a support group. You want to be
Yeah.
with other people who understand what you're going through in a kind of more intimate, specific way, and they're like, "Dude, I got you.
Yeah.
Somebody killed
Yeah.
someone very close to me, and I had to solve the case with Benoit Blanc."
I
hmm
do also think that Marta and Helen would be good influences for each other because Helen would absolutely tell Marta they are shitheads and you don't have to do a thing to help them ever.
hmm
And I think
You
that would
should
be
help
really
her
good.
stand up for herself. That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you watch this movie and you're trying to like imagine a world in which Benoit Blanc isn't gay and Marta and Helen are not in a group chat together, there's something so seriously wrong with you. Because isn't it
It's
so much more fun to imagine the beautiful sunshine and rainbows world where Marta and Helen get like invited to Blanc's house for Christmas and Hugh Grant is there
oh,
and like makes them
he makes some
desserts?
sourdough bread. Oh my gosh.
He's a
Yeah,
baker. He's the British Bake Off. So
that's him. That's
it's
amazing. Yeah.
a good movie.
It is a good movie. I liked it a lot. She is the Mona Lisa there at the end with the red and blue police lights flashing on the water.
Mhm.
And
Well,
she's
she is at
just,
the beginning too. Like they walk in the first time you see her, and she's like standing on the pier, and she's, you can't read her
oh, hell
expression,
yeah.
but you can see everybody else. And then also when they go into the house for the first time and she sees the Mona Lisa, it's like close up of Mona Lisa, close up of Helen, and you're like, mm-hmm, yep,
It's the same picture.
absolutely. It's the same picture. It's like, is she
Yeah.
smiling? Is she not smiling? Are her eyes watching me, or am I imagining that?
That's just Janelle Monáe.
Hmm. That's just a lot of layers. That's an actor. Okay.
Good movie. I love it. It was funnier than I remembered it being too, which was fun to
Yeah,
watch it again and be like,
pretty funny.
yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
when Benoit Blanc walks into the kitchen when all the lights are off and he sees the knife missing from the thing and he goes, "Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my
He's
gosh."
like, are you kidding me?
He's
As if my
famously
day could get
unflappable
any
man.
worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. I'm like a pirate. Like I was a scurry.
Our
Hey, what's a pirate's favorite letter?
uh you'd think it would be R, but it's actually the C.
X marks the spot.
Ah, darn.
Or
Yeah.
alternatively, P, because without it, they'd just be irate.
Hmm, that's good
Or
too.
this pirate's favorite letter is U.
Aw.
Yeah. The beauty of that joke is that there are so many different options.
Yeah, there's 26 letters. You can use some of them, and that's just in English.
If any of our followers have any good pirate jokes, not in English, please share them below.
Yeah, we won't understand them, but we'll appreciate them.
That is true.
Yeah.
More than ever, I really appreciate the value of wearing an eye patch.